Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. As you can see here, we're going to be celebrating today the 50th anniversary of the Beatles' Let It Be album. On May 18th, 1970, the Beatles released their final studio album. Of course, it's not the last album that was recorded, but it was the last album that was released. And so this video here is going to be kind of a celebration. And also this video is going to be somewhat of a response video to another YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to. The user's name is Fit to Be Tie-Dyed. I'll be sure and leave a link below in the description. You want to make sure and go over to his channel. He has his own 50th anniversary video, and he goes through all of his Let It Be albums, books, CDs, everything. And let me tell you, he's got way more than I'm going to show here. So be sure and check him out and subscribe to him if you haven't already. So what we're going to do here is just kind of go through all the things that I have that are related to Let It Be. And we'll just kind of see what we got here. First off, I'm just going to show some pictures. These will be from Bruce Spizer's book, The Beatles on Parlophone Records. There's just a lot of nice photographs in this book here that kind of shows you what the history of the album was. So first of all, originally the album was going to be called Get Back, and this was kind of the proposed album artwork. You can see it kind of bookends the albums by the Beatles. This is a kind of a replica of the Please Please Me album in the same EMI building, which personally I think that would have been a really cool way to go with the album. With the album cover. Here's another nice shot from the Twickenham Studios while they're recording the film for Let It Be. And here's the guys in the control room there. There's a lot of good information in these Bruce Spicer books, and just some really cool photographs too. Here's a little article that TV Guide put out, kind of describing what was going to be shown in the film and how they were coming on the album. And let's see where we're going to go to next here. Now the first picture that I showed you, I should have saved that page. Here we go. The first one I showed you, it's got the title is Get Back with Don't Let Me Down and 9 other songs. And then here's kind of another album cover that they're considering. It's got Get Back with Let It Be and 10 other songs. And then let's see here. And then they finally ended up going with this as their album cover, the one we all know. And here's one of the lobby cards for the film from the theater. And one other thing I just wanted to show quick here. I think originally it was, if I remember right, it's just the UK that had these. I could be mistaken. But they originally came out in this box set here. And you got the album and this nice thick book. And those are fairly hard to come by, at least in good condition. I think they kind of fell apart pretty easily, but the channel I mentioned before, Fit to Be Tie-Dyed, I think he showed 3 of those in his video. So if you want to see the actual thing, you be sure and check out his video. So now I don't have a whole lot to show for this album, but I'll just show everything that I do have. When I was really getting into buying vinyl, I wanted to get all the Beatles albums on vinyl, you know, get some of the original pressings. And here I thought I had the original Let It Be album here. I was so happy to get this. And I found out later that this is actually a counterfeit copy, but it still plays nice, sounds good. We got a red apple on this one. But yeah, I think I'm about 99.9% positive this is a counterfeit copy, so that's a little unfortunate, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll find a legit one somewhere down the line. In 2003, they released Let It Be Naked, So now this is kind of a version that's kind of stripped down. It doesn't have all the Phil Spector orchestration on it. And I was lucky enough to find this on vinyl. And one thing I like about this is it actually has the song Don't Let Me Down on the album, which is one of my favorite songs from this period, from these sessions. And it was not included on the original album. And so here's the label there. And a couple other goodies we got inside here. We got this nice thick booklet here with lots of great pictures, some information about the album. I think there's even some dialogue in here that you can read from them talking in the studio. You can kind of read their conversations there. Just lots of cool stuff in this booklet here. And then one other neat thing is that it came with this 45. It's called Let It Be Naked, Fly on the Wall. And this kind of goes over some studio banter, I guess, back and forth. You know, you got the guys talking between tracks and things. That's really fun to listen to, just kind of, like the title says, you're just kind of a fly on the wall in the studio listening to them record. So that's a nice little addition to this release. And then after the CDs were remastered in 2009, I think this was 2012, they came out with the vinyl box set. So this is the album from that. And this has got the green apple. It's quite dark actually on this release. A little hard to read. So that's pretty much it that I have for, you know, full 12-inch albums. But I got a few singles from that time too. Here we have the Beatles on Apple. I really like these sleeves. Here we have The Long and Winding Road. And on the flip side we have For You Blue, George Harrison's song. And here's the title track, Let It Be. Back with You Know My Name, Look Up the Number. And here's a Get Back with Don't Let Me Down. Two of my favorite tracks from the album. And I actually got 2 copies of that. This one's a little a different pressing. I think it's got the font is a little bit different on that one. And then from the recently released Beatles singles collection, this is the Let It Be single from that. It's got the replica of the UK picture sleeve, which is really cool. And we also got, again, the Apple logo there, which on these new remasters and things, the Apple is really dark. It's really hard to read a lot of times. Now that's pretty much it for the vinyl. So I'll just go over to a few CDs that I have of the album. This is my original from 1987, 88, when they first came out on CD. Sorry for the glare on that. And these early CDs, they really went all out on the artwork. Just so much to look at there. That's pretty much it. Yeah, this is probably the one that I've listened to the most, you know, having grown up in the CD era. And then again, before I got the vinyl, I had the CD of Let It Be Naked, which I got here. And this is basically the entire book that was in the LP is in here, just in, you know, a smaller format. And then the Fly on the Wall is a separate disc. And then from the 2009 remastered stereo box set, we have the remastered version here. Got some really cool shots of the guys there. And then we got a little bit better expanded booklet for information on the album here, at least. So that's really nice. Nice to have that. I haven't looked at this in a long time. So so there's that. And thanks to my good friend Robert P. He's been very generous in sending me some copies of some recordings that he's got. One of the really interesting ones here that he sent me, this one's called AB Road. This has got every recording that was done the entire month of January of 1969 when they were working on recording the album. This is on two DVD ROMs. Whoop. And this has just got lots of great stuff. It's got everything that's recorded on the Nagra A and B film rolls. So there's just many hours of entertainment there if you want to listen to that. Generally for the die-hard fans. And another thing that he sent me, I think I showed this in a previous video, but if you're not into listening to that, I think there's 2,000 tracks on there or something like that. This is kind of the best of the AB Roads CDs. This is the River Rhine tapes, which he was generous enough to make copies and give to me. There's 3 volumes of that. And that's very cool. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for CDs. I don't really have any books or anything like that other than the Bruce Spicer one I showed at the beginning. And as far as the film goes, very early on, after the internet was kind of introduced, you know, we got these files sharing sites and things, and I was able to find an actual copy of the Let It Be film because I'd never seen that before. So I downloaded that as soon as I could. I burned it to a DVD, and that's a very, very bad copy of the film. And that was all I had for many, many years. And then scrolling through eBay, I was kind of searching because it was never really officially released on DVD or anything like that. So it's basically been all VHS replicas put on DVD. And I found this one here. It claimed in the description to be the best it's ever looked. After watching it, it looked maybe slightly better than the one I already had, but there was a couple bonus features on here that were not very good, but all these bootlegs can be easily found on eBay and different sites for pretty cheap usually. So if you want to see the film, I mean, you can get it pretty cheap that way. It's not going to be the best quality. But then Robert P. also sent me this copy that he made for me. And this is supposed to be the best remastering that's been done on it so far. So that was really nice to see that. It was better than this one, I'll say that. So that's probably the best I've seen it so far. But as some of you may know, supposedly in September of this year, we're supposed to be getting a new Let It Be documentary. It's been being directed by Peter Jackson, who also, you know, he's famous for the Lord of the Rings trilogy and King Kong, things like that. He's been given all the tapes and everything and cleaning everything up and giving us a new film. And from what I understand, they're actually releasing with that the original Let It Be film. So hopefully that'll be really cleaned up with lots of bonus features and things like that. And like I said, from what I understand, it's going to be coming out in September. I was supposed to have a theatrical release, but with the current situation with the pandemic that's going around, I haven't heard anything whether that's going to still take place It's being released through Disney, so there's been some speculation that maybe it'll be released on a streaming like Disney Plus or something like that. So for me personally, it'd be really great to see that in the theater. But if not, I do have Disney Plus, so I'd really enjoy seeing it there. I mean, you can see it from the comfort of your own home. And definitely a Blu-ray would be fantastic. So lots of things to look forward to yet. I believe the album is going to be coming out around the same time too, a remastered box set. I think Giles Martin is going into the studio sometime this summer to start working on that, from what I hear. So it'll be nice to see all that stuff come out in celebration of Let It Be and the 50th anniversary of a really great album. And if you go back on my playlist, you can see that my wife and I have reviewed all the Beatles albums. We're currently working on the solo albums, but I just checked out, I went and reviewed our Let It Be review, and I think that was one of the highest albums that we reviewed, or highest ranking albums that we reviewed on my channel. So it's definitely a great album, one of my favorites. So with that, I think that's all I have to share with Let It Be. So happy birthday to Let It Be. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.